Ready to go, right?
Well, folks, we're gathered here in Seapoint, the lovely coastal coast of Seapoint. This is the third interview in the series that John and Plumper and Cameron and myself are doing with a number of well-known personalities on and off the course of Pitch and Putt. Today's interview is with, I'll describe him as he has been described to me as a very dominant force in Pitch and Putt, both locally in County Louth and also nationally all over the country. The name of Pat Greene would be well known. Where do we start, Pat? Welcome aboard. Where do we start? At the beginning?
Yeah, well, I suppose the quickest way of saying how I got into Pitch and Putt, probably from when I was 10 years of age. I used to caddy in Beltray, famous Beltray, and caddied up till
Famous golf course links.
and I caddied up till I was about 16 years of age, and then when I was around 17 I went professionally caddying around the countryside.
What was the money like, Pat?
The money was quite good for that time, and then I went from caddying, I went into greenkeeping for 6 years in Beltray, and then I left Beltray then, and
What years are we talking roughly about that time?
we're talking about I was working in Beltray up to about 70. I started walking Beltray probably around 74 to 80, you know. Probably.
And while a lot of people go from pitch and putt to golf, people in their youth, as still happens nowadays,
Yeah.
yours is unusual, the fact that you moved from golf to pitch and putt.
Yeah.
What, the late 70s, was it?
Well, it would have been the late 70s. I started playing pitch and putt then around 79. I started off as a junior player, playing off 12. And,
You mustn't have played any golf if you got 12 with a handicap.
No, I didn't play any golf, you know what I mean, at that stage. Later on in life I did play a little bit of golf, but it was mostly pitch and putt. But I started playing, like I said, 79, and I went from junior to senior in 1 year. I thought I'd never get to senior, you know, because that's where the big competition was.
Dare I say, did you get a wrong handicap at 12?
I got a wrong handicap at 12, yeah.
You mustn't be getting a handicap for yourself. You'd be no generous man to giving out a handicap at 12.
And I then moved into the senior ranks, struggled for a few years in the senior ranks, and then after about 4 years I just took off. Then I went from kind of a 2 handicap down to scratch, and started competing then at the All Irelands and Leinsters and County Board Championships, you know.
So you were competitive by the sound of things from a very early stage of life.
I was very competitive, you know. Spent a lot of time practicing, you know. I played the weekend and practiced during the week, and then I got involved then, I suppose I got involved then in the coaching. Went to county board meetings just as it was there, and I was probably say pressurised into taking the coaching job, which I love coaching. I always did do a lot of coaching, not as much now as I used to do. In them days I done a lot of coaching with juveniles, you know.
Okay. And you're a Drogheda man all your life, so you were local to your Beltray, and your start to your pitch and putt, I believe, wasn't Seapoint, it was neighbouring club.
Yeah. When I started first, I registered with cement because it was close by. It was handy to to get to.
Now known as Killiney in latter years.
No one's killing it. Yeah, that's right. I then 2 years after I registered, I was a dual member. I was always a dual member in Seapoint, you know.
And in the early life, I understand you worked in the Lourdes Hospital even before your golf and pitch and putt, which was local, and you gained a bit of knowledge
I
if you were
started
there.
working at Lourdes Hospital in late 1979, you know.
And you would have gained a lot of your skills, your maintenance skills and that, I'm sure. Right, Seapoint, how did that come about?
Well, I was registered with Kilney or Cement, it was called that time, for probably about 15 years, and I was playing most of my pitch and putt in Seapoint, and then I went on the committee in Seapoint, you know, so then I changed my registration a few years after that and registered in Seapoint, but I was always a member in Cement. So it was the opposite way around. I was a dual member in Cement and registered in Seapoint. You know.
You're one of the, if not the mainstay in Seapoint ever since, my understanding is.
Yeah. So then Seapoint, then I was on the committee for a good few years, and then I became chairman of Seapoint.
But you're in all the different roles, I think, over the years, weren't you?
Yeah.
Currently, you're what?
Yeah. And,
treasurer, is it?
I'm treasurer in the county board. I was chairman in for a while, and we had trouble getting like everything else, and all the county boards of what's saying, and getting people on the committee. So I took over the reins as looking after the money, you know.
And you were always involved with the inter-county teams over the years, and apart from playing, and you've been manager for the last few years, I believe.
Played for Louth for probably 30 years, and was very, very successful. Won 3 inter-county medals with Louth, and won a few Leinster medals with Louth as well. And
your first big success was, I'm far back in 1983, in the Leinster, in the match play, the gents match play. In the final, you were beaten Pat Buggy. Do you remember that match?
Yeah.
That bringing back a memory.
Yeah.
And you were semi-finals in '91, and you won the stroke play then here in Seapoint in 1996.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest achievement. One of the biggest achievements I had was when the Lancers here only done 15 in the fourth round, kind of out of it, and then next round when mad altogether and done shot 40, and the next round.
Was that a course record, was it?
Yeah,
Sure, it was 40.
40 was a course record, yeah.
And would that have been better since?
That was better a few years ago. There's 39 now as a course record. And,
Who was that?
Philip Randles has the course record.
Very good.
So.
You Leinster match at the finals 98. You lost to a man that's no longer with us, Terry Hattenratty, I believe.
Yeah,
and that was in Cement.
That was in Cement
as it was then.
Yeah.
But go on.
You'd want to be a genius to be Terry at that stage, you know, because he was, you know, he's probably one of the best players we ever, that came out of Louth, Terry, you know. He was a beautiful thrower of the ball, he was a great pitcher, stopped the ball quick, and he probably has what a lot of other people haven't got. He could hit the ball real low, so he was playing the wind no matter where he was playing.
Bit like some of the Spaniards.
He just flickered.
Right.
He just flickered in and stop it real quick, you know.
It's an art in itself, isn't
it? Yeah, great art, you
know. You've done a bit of course designing over the years, and you played a part in the current setup here in Seapoint too.
Yeah, I've done. I put a new hole in and make brides, and I bring it on in and a skein, and I put 2 in cement when the houses came into cement.
I hear you were the one that put the 2 saucer greens, causing havoc on many is a descriptive adjective. The 6th and 10th can you plead guilty to that?
No, they wanted, at the time I discussed it with the committee that they want something different.
Oh, blame someone else, Pat, you're the cause of it.
And I said I could design 2 greens that something that you get above an hour county, that you have to be able to hit the ball and stop it real quick. So we sat with a friend of mine, he was a greenkeeper, Noel Mooney. We sat with him and redesigned the 2 greens. It wasn't a big job, actually, in the long run. Today now, especially the 7-hole in cement, it's only a small green, and it's only a small distance, something like 45 metres shot. So it is a hard hole to stop, and there's a little bank in front of it, and there's a good bit of ground between the bank in front and the green, so
right.
it catches a lot of people out.
You'd have seen some changes around Seapoint, I'm sure, apart from the physical thing.
Yeah, well, since I came and took over the course back a few years back, I put a new hole in at the 16th. There used to be a little hole over the hill, and you wouldn't know whether you'd have a 2 or a 4, And I was looking at this ground one day, and I used to do a bit every Sunday morning with a wheelbarrow and a shovel, and I eventually made that green. I think it's one of the best. Some great holes around the countryside, but I think that's a great feature hole. So.
One of the, still sticking on Seapoint, probably one of your more memorable days in your career was to have the honour of the 2018 Open here.
Damien won it. Him and Ray Murphy was 11 coming to the last hole actually, and Damien sank it probably 12 foot or 14 foot right across the green. It wasn't an easy putt, because if you ran too much into it, you think it'd come more from the left, but Damien knocked her in, and Ray Murphy missed the putt,
Then
But the Irish Open, it was something we took on. It was a big competition, and I suppose a few people I'd like to thank for that. One was Michael Murphy. He came down on the Saturday and Sunday on the 2 days off, and helped us to run it, to do the computerised scoring and all that. And another man at the time, he was chairman at the time, was Brian McGinn.
Brian was chairman here.
He was the chairman last year, yeah. And me and him took the role of running it, and with the help of a good few more committee members, and we done a sponsorship thing, and the amount of sponsors we had, I think we had about 80 sponsors altogether for that weekend, and
so it was a sponsorship for the club, was it?
Yeah. But to buy the prizes, and we put extra money into the prizes, and Irish Life sponsored the main prize.
You've done your homework, because running an Open like that can be an expensive occasion, and can cost a club if they don't do the homework.
We never set out to make money.
Okay.
We just set out to clear ourselves. But at the end of the day, we made roughly around 8,000 on the project.
Very good.
You know, now I picked 4 people to go around as sponsors, you know, and to work very hard on it, you know. So it was a fabulous success, and everything went well. And 2 days later, we had international here. The ladies played team from Spain, and then the juveniles played a selection from Spain as well, and the ladies won and the juveniles won, so it was a fabulous weekend.
As good a time that was, would I be right in saying you had a famous trip down under to Australia earlier than that? Would that be the highlight, or have I put more time back to saying that?
That would have been probably one of the highlights. I was picked to play for Ireland in 1996, and the trip was away in Australia, and
it went far enough, didn't it?
6 players went, and
push on the spot, how many of them can you recall?
two officers went, and then there was 22 in total. A good few supporters went. Billy Lynch came with us, and his wife Mary, and son Liam, and Ian Farley was on the trip as well.
Sean Downs.
Sean Downs played, you know, he was a fabulous player, Downs.
Yeah, it was at the time, it was like there's a few people go regularly from different parts of the country now to Spain, maybe twice a year playing doubles or singles, but that was very unique back then. To go as far as Australia as well. How did it come about, or what happened there? Or?
Well, there was they were trying to promote the game more in Australia at the time, and certainly when we went, it was a trip of a lifetime. We spent 3 days in Melbourne, done an exhibition match with the locals in Melbourne, and then we went on to Wagga Wagga was the name of the place. We went to Middle Coast there, and we done an exhibition match there, and had to go to a function that night, and we didn't leave the function till 2 o'clock in the morning. We were back
typically
up,
Irish.
We were back up the next morning at 6 o'clock, dressed, ready to go on the bus down to the international, where the international will be held in Queanbeyan. You know, so.
And tell me this, again, I've been thinking back, if you visit Spain, the distance, the different courses, and the different attitude to hitting the ball, as you referred to. What would the courses like in Australia compared to here, distance-wise or otherwise?
Well, distance-wise, they wouldn't be as long. It wouldn't be as long as here, or as long as in Spain in the modern game now. Probably the holes are around 52 metre shots to 42. Where the internationals had it was only a new course, and it was a fabulous course. You wouldn't even on the fairways, you wouldn't even see a weed on the fairways. You know, it was like fair play to them, and they came back to the Australian team came back to play an Irish selection after that, and then it just seemed for some unknown reason it just seemed to.
So you was getting as good as the GA, like Dazzy rules. There was no big bus drops, you know?
There was no big money in it, I suppose,
Yeah.
and it just folded up, and not for me to see it, because they had a few good players, like, you know.
But the distance is probably the biggest
This is probably the biggest
factor.
hold of the whole lot.
Right, that covers a bit of that. Any other achievements that stand out in your playing career? You've won over 55s on a few occasions, comes to mind. Do you want to remind us of those?
Yeah. First one, when I came 55, I didn't play the first few years of it, and I think I played around 57 or 58, and played down in Kerry in Deer Park, and that was the first one I played, and that was the first one I won. was a blustery, rainy old day, and I just went mad with the power that day, and
Again,
shot 16 under, which was a fabulous score. Won probably by 8 shots or something like that, 8 or 9 shots. So that was a great achievement, and
that was in Tralee.
that was in Tralee, yeah.
And where were the other one victories? Can you recall?
The other ones then was in Hillview in Tipperary. I won there in a 9-hole playoff. I was 6 under for the 9 in the playoff. And then I won another one. Forget now where I won the other one.
Was there ever any of them here in Seapoint?
No, we never hosted
Right.
over 50 wives in Seapoint. And I was runner-up 3 times as well, you know, so...
But you had plenty of success here in Seapoint at your opens. I think I recall here early in the year.
yeah.
Would I be right? Is it 7 times? I'm open to correction. Your name was on the side of the cup.
The Scratch Cup.
Yeah.
I won it six times.
6.
Actually. Yeah.
You're aiming for the 7th, I beg your pardon.
So good success in the Scratch Cups over the years, and won same again. The club won everything in the club down through the years, and won 3 county board stroke plays and 3 county board match plays. You know.
I have sheets and sheets of success. That's why I'm letting you come out with yourself, because you CV second to none.
You know, so the only thing I never won was the all-out match play. Got to semi-finals one year and got to quarter-finals another year. Then the all-out stroke play, some unknown reason, I never really qualified plenty of times for the last 18, but it never...
Who was the biggest, how shall I phrase it, who did you look up to most or fear most if you had to meet him on the course he was playing in that open or that match play? Was there anybody that you, or were you, comments on that?
I never feared anybody, you know, because I always thought when you go to play, if I have 2 sticks and a ball and a tee and a marker, and I always was quite confident no matter who I was playing.
You played the course and not the man?
You know, in match play, you just go out and play, and hopefully enough you play better than your opponent, and if your opponent plays better than you, well, he always deserves to win, you know.
Right. Best player you ever seen in County Louth? A Louth-based player. We'll go for the broader question in a moment. Within the county.
Yeah, I suppose one of the best players round Louth has to be from his achievements. So like, he won a match play, he won a stroke play, now Louth stroke play, match play, and he won an Answers. And he used to play in the county as well, and that was a fellow called Kevin McDonald, played a cement club at the time. You know, he was second to none. You know, played with, believe it or not, played with 9 iron. You know, and he was probably the best player to me.
Around what time was he playing?
That would have been around 78. He won the stroke play in 78, and the match play I think was 79. And if you went in now to the modern day player, I suppose you'd be talking about Mark Miller and Sean Goggins. You know, they would be the 2 top players in Louth at the moment.
Okay, apart from County Louth players, best gents player you saw? From all over Ireland.
Yeah, well, there would be a few of them.
Right.
Going back, and when I started playing for us, there was Gussie Callan from Dublin and Mick Forrester from Cork. They would have been 2 of the tops at that time when I started playing. I seen Mick Forrester play below in Tipperary one year, and he'd 19 under 44, 45, which was fabulous scoring. The modern day player I used to love, played with a good few times. I played with him in Bagnallstown in the Lancers probably about 12 years ago, and he shot a 40 that day. And that was the famous Sean Downs from the Stack Allen Club. You know, he was absolutely fabulous, you know.
Yeah.
Then you look around in Cork, of course you've the great Ray Murphy, and then for a fellow I love watching, he won the stroke play here one year, that's John Walsh. John was very exciting, you know, tax everything, you know, the modern game, you know, loads of other great players, John Crangill being another one from Dublin, he fabulous player to watch playing. You know.
It's lovely to see all the better players. Love to see them in action, there's no doubt, irrespective of where they're from. Now, if you like a football, like most of us, you had a football to play in Seapoint and you had to invite 3 people from outside the county. 1 your partner and 2 the opposition. And don't pick the opposition that you'll have an easy match. I want, who would you love to see playing that football? Whether they're from the previous players you mentioned or not.
Well, probably the stroke play went off. Damien Fleming,
Right.
you know, going. Keith Earls, another fabulous player, won the stroke play last year. And I suppose another man I've just mentioned would probably be John.
Right.
John Walsh, you know. That would be some football, you know.
And which of them would be your partner if they get the handy money?
Whoever would pardon me being a winner here. So whoever would pardon me wouldn't be paying.
They'd be bidding their way to play with you. He knows every blade of grass, lads. Right. If you won the lotto in the morning, or you could grant one wish for Pitch and Putt to better the game, what would that be? Now, we all know the good work that's been done at club level, county board level, and indeed by the NEC, so we're not passing any remarks on any of these good workers, but is there anything you'd love to see happening for the better of the game?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I'd love to see, it has improved. Ladies' game went down a little bit for a few years. It has certainly improved. Bigger entries now into the all-Ireland stroke plays and things like that. But what I'd like to see happening to the ladies' game, I'd like to see the handicapping changing, because the ladies' senior is all right from +1 to 7, but there's a bit of a problem now with.
And has a 7 a chance in that? Is it still not a bit high?
No, they wouldn't have a chance. 7 handicappers wouldn't really have a chance, but you have to give, to keep enough senior ladies in the game, you have to keep her at 7. You know, maybe in a few years to come, it might go back to the old way. If it used to be +1 to 5,
Okay.
you know. But the biggest problem is the intermediate grade. Intermediate grade should be from 8 to 12, because there's too many ladies playing off 13 or 14, and they're not intermediates, they're genuine juniors. So the juniors should be from 13 to 21, you know. We've talked about our meetings with Central Council, and maybe this year coming a convention is trying to change that, but that's solely up to the ladies. You know, there's enough ladies playing and there's enough strength now to change that. But
The
that's
same intermediate grade, it's the same problem with the gents, isn't it? It's probably the most difficult of all grades, would you agree?
yeah, like the change the senior grade from from +3 now out to 2, and then the intermediate grade is from 3 to 7. But there's too many 3 handicappers that are coming back from senior. They used to play off 1, and they're still good players. And unfortunately now, what's happening now, and people are beginning to think about it, like 7, 6, 5, 4 handicappers that entered in All Irelands now and Lancers now. There's no chance. They're wasting no time and they're wasting no money.
There has to be a net prize to have a handicapper of that.
Yeah, but even a net, you know what I mean. It's the main prize you're after. You're after.
Of course.
You're after the All Ireland Cup intermediate, and it needs to be looked into. It needs to be changed back to senior should be +3, say to 3, and then it should be 4 to 8 for the intermediate grade. Because it's too, like in all the scratch cups there'll be 1. There's no such thing as a 5 or 6 handicapper winning them. It's always a 3 handicapper. So why should the 5 or 6 handicappers be playing in championships and scratch cups if they've no chance of winning? It's all about.
Food for thought.
It's all about just going out and competing. You won't have a chance every time you tear up.
Well, we're coming near the end of our chat, Pat. With the sounds of things in my research, along with John Manning and the information on your victories, we covered some of them, but it does appear to me, and indeed to a lot of other people out there, you spend most of your life at Pitch and Putt, and it has played a big part at club level, county board, and indeed nationally in your journey of life. What about this? If they have the golden nugget apart from what you're doing, anything else that comes to mind before we wrap up?
No, just that I just like to see more young people coming into the game, and
how can we do that, or what are you doing here locally?
Well, the success seems to be over in the golf. We only Seapoint Golf Club is just over the road, and Baltray Golf Club is just over the road. Bakestown is just over the river, and they can let the kids in. They play in the club competitions. They give them a handicap at 12 years of age. We've talked about it at Central Council level for years, and we seem to be afraid to bring the kids in at that level, and maybe if they were getting a handicap at 12, then, they'd be okay, they're going to win prizes and this, that.
Like you did it back in 78 and 79?
Yeah,
Why not? Keeps you in the game.
Yeah, it keeps them in the game. It's something big they're going to have to look at, because some counties are very strong. Kildare's very strong. Kerry be very strong. Louth is struggling big time with the kids at the moment. And
but why are some areas doing better than others? Like this is why I'm getting hard to find an answer to it.
Kildare, probably one of the reasons why some of the father and mothers plays Pitch and Putt at a high level, and then they put the time into it.
Okay.
The same as myself and Paddy Davis here, put 30 years into the juveniles between this club and going around coaching in other clubs, and then looking after the kids in the counties and stuff like that, and Kerry would be much the same. Deer Park is very, very, and Antrim is very strong on juveniles for the last probably 10 years, and it's proven over the last few years many championships the juveniles have winning, Joe.
Which look, Pat, all we can say is thanks for giving your time to both John Plunkett on the camera and myself.
Thanks very much, Joe.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, even more so today. And anyone looking in that enjoys this chat today, or any of the other ones we've done, if you can give it a thumbs up, it will help to spread the gospel according to Pat and our previous people, Paddy Kelly and Ger. So do what you can for us, and we appreciate it. Thank you.